Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to the second week of our 2020 holiday special, a very Satoshi Kon holiday. And this time we are reacting to Millennium Actress. So, unlike the first one we reacted to, Rojan Z, this one is actually a directorial movie by Satoshi Kon, rather than him just working on the film. Um, this is one of the ones that I have always wanted to see the most, just based on the name alone. The name just sounds so like fantastic. Like I don't even know why, but the name is just so appealing. I don't know if like the combination of words is just like really just that they work well together. I don't know. I don't know. But based on the title alone, it is one I've wanted to see. Now, I don't know what the film is actually about. I've never seen a trailer for it, and I've only seen like maybe a couple screen caps here and there. But I don't actually know what it's about. Honestly, going into Satoshi Kon movies in general, I almost never know what they're about. Walking out of Satoshi Kon movies, I still almost never know what they're about. To be fair, he's kind of wild like that. Um, no, but in all seriousness, this is one that I've heard praise for every one of Satoshi Kon's works. So this one is no exception to that. And I'm very excited to see what all the praise is for. I don't know when this film came out. I don't even. I think it came before Paprika. I think it was before Paprika. I know it was before Tokyo Godfathers. I know that for sure. I just don't know exactly when it came out. But this is, I feel, going to be. I don't know. Something is telling me that this is going to be good, and I'm really excited for it. Especially after how good Rojan Z ended up being. Like that was surprisingly good. I really enjoyed it. But I'm hoping this one ends up being much of the same. Um, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Um, but yeah, I don't know what to expect again because I don't really know anything about this film at all. But I'm hoping for the best. I don't even know like what genre it is because that other movie we reacted to a while back, I don't remember what it's called right now. But the other Satoshi Kon film we reacted to a while back, that one was more of a psychological horror. And then Rojan Z was more of a science fiction parody almost. It very much parodied a lot of that kind of stuff, um, whether intentional or not. um, so yeah, and Tokyo Godfathers is more of a drama with comedic elements in it too, mind you, but still. Um, I don't know what genre this is. Paprika, I know is psychological. I know that. But I don't know about this one. So it's going to be interesting to find out. So let's just get this started because I'm honestly getting started recording this a lot later than I was planning to. I got distracted by some other things. So yeah, we'll get this started and hope for the best. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, yeah, I feel pretty clear that I love this. I mean, the jeez, I was really starting to cry at the end there. So this film was about Chi. My mind's blanking now because uh, Chiyoko. My mind was blanking just because I just got so emotional there. It's about Chiyoko and her life and her search for a man she loved. Now, the general synopsis here, I actually have a little bit of gripe with because this is the general synopsis. It tells the story of two documentary film workers, or filmmakers, rather, investigating the life of a retired acting legend. As she tells them the story of her life, the difference between reality and cinema becomes blurred. This this most general synopsis of the film like sounds good at first, but then it goes with the difference between reality and film becomes blurred and all, and it's like not really. Most of the time, you can usually tell what parts are her films and what parts are not. Um, there's certain connecting themes and ideas and other things within those that you can tell. Like if the key is present, it's her real life. And you can usually tell when it's a film. A lot of times it'll be a lot more fantastical. She'll be in these wild outfits and stuff. The only thing is that it kind of just goes back and forth between them. Not really randomly, just kind of like really suddenly. So at some points it'll be like, oh, this is her real life, and then all of a sudden it just switches to a movie. Um, to showcasing one of her films and stuff. But the lines between them don't really blur like that. It's not like it it's gonna bug me because I mentioned in the pre thoughts I forgot what the other Satoshi Kon movie was, the name of it. Perfect Blue, that was it, and that one actually came before this one. This was the second directorial movie of Satoshi Kon. Okay, so Perfect Blue, that one things became very blurred. That in that movie, you could sometimes not tell what was real and what was not, and that was kind of part of the point of the film. Um, but with this one, that's not really the case again as much. But let's talk about this film. So, as it says in the synopsis, it's about two documentary filmmakers. I keep saying film workers. Two documentary filmmakers investigating Chiyoko's life, and she just tells them her story through this rare interview 30 years after she kind of went into hiding. We find out that she was this young girl, her family owned a sweet shop, and she was just kind of out of the blue approached by a director to become an actress. Her mother didn't want it because she felt that her daughter should rather become, a typical housewife and stuff because of old fashioned ideals. Typical housewife, take care of the shop and stuff, things like that. Um, and Chiyoko herself didn't seem altogether too interested. But one day she met this guy, this painter, was also like this political dissident. And she kind of falls in love with him. She's young at the time, mind you, like a kid, maybe an early teenager, but still, she's pretty damn young. But she falls in love with him. It's not really clear what age he is. It's he's left very vague, and that's very much on purpose. Um, because remember, most of this is through her memory, and she doesn't remember everything. She said she doesn't even remember his face. But it's like, so it's kept vague. So he might have been like a teenager. He might have been a young adult. It's unclear. But she fell in love with him either way after saving him from some police. And so she wants to try and find him again. He gives her, well, he doesn't even really give her his key. She kind of finds it. But she wants to return the key to him. And so the movie, her like entire life story is her becoming an actress to try and make it so he'll be able to find her again while she keeps searching herself. Going to using this acting to go to all these different places. Um, she goes all these different routes from following this fortune teller's advice and stuff, and various other things here and there, um, just to try and find him. And as she goes along, she continues to star in these movies once again, hoping that they'll help him find her. She eventually does find him in custody of the. Well, actually, she's first caught by the police, and then she's let go when they find him. And she was caught because she was known to um, be associated with him. So she's arrested, and once they find him, they let her go, but she sees as he's being taken in and tries to get to him, but she can't. It's revealed later what happens there, but I'll get to that. And she just continues after that point to hopefully try and find him more and more. The war happens, and everything continues to go really wrong, but she continues her search. Eventually, though, she does kind of give up. She loses the key and kind of loses hope because of it. So she gives up. She marries the director, um, and eventually finds out that the key was stolen by Aiko, her co-star in a lot of these movies, who was jealous of her. Aiko stole it and actually eventually gave it to the director, who now her husband and everything. So, which I didn't even catch at first. I actually, between recording the reaction and these afterthoughts, I actually went and looked at the full thing to see if there was anything I missed, like the synopsis and all. And yeah, that was one thing I missed, that she had given it to him. Um, but yeah, she gave it to him, and they're trying to explain things, but she, having the key again, has regained hope and goes to try and find things out. Eventually, she is reconnected with the policeman who she's met a couple times throughout her life now. He apologizes and everything, and gives her a note that was left by the painter. She goes off to try and find him again, but what she doesn't know is at that time, Tachibana, who is the documentary filmmaker now, who he had been working at the studio this entire time and had even helped her on occasion, but he's actually told by the old policeman at that point that the painter had died in his custody, that he had tortured and killed him. But Chioko never found that out. So she continued to search and search, and eventually on the set of her final film, the space film that the movie began with, the actual Millennium Actress movie began with, on the set of that film, there's a huge earthquake, and she ran away and went into hiding for the next 30 years until Tachibana found her. But yeah, she went into hiding. She was done. She lost her key again at that point during the earthquake, and she had lost hope again. So 30 years later, Tachibana comes and brings her the key, and that's how the entire movie gets started. And she never finds out before her death that he died. At that point, I think she already knows he's probably dead, that he's probably gone. But she never actually found out about him dying in the custody of the policeman. A big earthquake hits. It takes a huge toll on her already deteriorating health. She's taken to the hospital, and with Tachibana and his cameraman by her side, she passes away. Finally, after 30 years, resuming her search. And it ends on the line that the search is what she loved most of all. Spending her life searching after the man she loved. The passion and dedication that she had throughout all those years is what she valued out of it. This film, in its presentation, with the entire way it's like all told through her memories and stuff, mixed in with the different roles she's portrayed in her acting career. I really like that. We've seen that in many films. Many movies have done that entire thing where, oh, like the movie is like kind of flashbacks and stuff and all that. And we've seen it in other films where you'll see like characters being told the story will appear in the flashbacks and like as if they're actually there and stuff. We've seen this kind of stuff before, but it was so expertly done here. Satoshi Kon's directing just really sold that kind of like just style. I think more than anything else that I might have seen it in. And the story itself, while again, not anything like new or special or exciting, even for when this movie came out in 2001, um, a woman searching after a lost love for her entire life, while it's nothing new or special, it's the way it's told, the characters that it's told from the perspective of, the characters it's told to, the characters who are featured throughout it. That's what makes it special. And the characters themselves are great. Chiyoko is a fantastic lead. Tachibana and his cameraman are hilarious, but at the same time, really heartwarming characters, especially Tachibana. And the entire goal of the film is to, in my eyes at least, show the dedication of love and that how important and passionate love can be throughout a person's life and how their lives kind of can revolve around it. And I just really like how it was presented. I think it was done and handled excessively well. The art and animation, of course, were good. Nothing like phenomenal, but for the time, very good. The voice acting was really great, but that I kind of expected. Um, I really liked a lot of the stylistic choices. Like during her last big search, you see her like running past and running through like the hills and stuff, and it's kind of like flashing between the real life and her movies and all of that similar things are happening in, or it's flashing back to previous moments in her life that connect to this one. Um, and I think another theme of this film is that art and life imitate each other. Like you always hear like the lines like art imitates life or life imitates art. I've heard both talked about many times, but it's like they imitate each other. Art and life are cyclical in that way. And this movie very much shows that through Chiyoko's experiences and her films. And that was a great scene to specifically demonstrate that. The specific way certain scenes are shot just really sell the moment. The soundtrack is fantastic. It's really damn good. And it got me emotional. And in the end, like I said, Chiyoko never found out what happened to the painter. She never learned of his fate. But she still had that hope in the end because of the key being returned to her by Tachibana. And as she put it, her search could now continue. And as Tachibana put it, he was sure that she would find him this time. And although there's no like big resolution in that, she never finds out what happened to him, and we don't actually see her pass, but we know what that last scene is representing. We don't see them reunite in death, which is actually kind of what I was expecting at first. We understand that they probably did. Or at least we can imagine that they did. We can hope that they did. Just like Tachibana did. And even at the end, like after it's already been well revealed that Tachibana had feelings for her, it was super obvious. At the same time, that's his final words to her. Him telling her that he believes she will find her love this time. Because true love is wanting the best for the person you love, is wanting them to be their happiest, is wanting them to find what they're looking for. He loved her, but he acknowledged that she loved this painter. And he was hopeful that she would find him through this final search. And that's beautiful. That's awesome. And it's really wild that out of the Satoshi Kon films I've seen now, I would honestly say that from what I've seen, and I don't know how true this is overall, but from what I've seen, one of the most popular, if not the most popular, of Satoshi Kon's works, Perfect Blue, is my least favorite. And that's nothing against Perfect Blue necessarily. I still liked the movie. But compared to like Tokyo Godfathers, compared to this, and I guess if you technically do want to count Rogen's, even though that's not a directorial film of his, and even if you want to count the show Paranoia Agent, which was a directorial piece of his, this was just so damn good that while I like Perfect Blue, it just couldn't hold up. I still think Tokyo Godfathers is my favorite, but this is high up there. This might be my second favorite, even beating out Paranoia Agent. And unlike Perfect Blue or Paranoia Agent, this one more like Tokyo Godfathers wasn't a psychological film. There was some certain elements to it that could be seen as psychological, but that's not what the film was. It was a drama, a romantic drama, with some comedy thrown in, of course. But it's kind of funny that the Satoshi Kon films I like the most right now are the dramas, the ones that aren't psychologically based. The Perfect Blue is my least favorite. And I mean, I don't know how that bodes for Paprika when I see that next week. But we'll have to see. Maybe that one will break the chain, and maybe that one will be really damn good. Because I know that one is a psychological one. But yeah, this was really, really good. I just I really liked it, and I'm so glad that I finally gotten to see it. I've wanted to see it for so long based on the title alone, and I'm really glad I finally have. Tell me in the comments below what you thought of Millennium Actress. And thank you so much for tuning in to another part of the 2020 holiday special, A Very Satoshi Kon Holiday. Just as I just had said, next week we will be getting to Paprika, and the week after, which is Christmas Day, for those who celebrate it, or I personally do. But on Christmas Day, we will have the review of what is at least currently still my favorite Satoshi Kon film and work in general, Tokyo Godfathers. So once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. For those of you who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. For those of you who celebrate Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah. Joyous Kwanzaa, and anything else. You will just happy holidays to everyone, no matter what you celebrate. So thank you all so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.